platforms as well as other social media platforms. And there's a lot of talk that the Yes Network might be picking it up and some other networks. So it's going to be an exciting new year.
Now, let me ask you, you've been involved with baseball, basketball. I mean, you've covered all the sports. Why is your love boxing?
Because it's the one-on-one part of it. It's the personalities involved with it. It's a sport like no other. Don't get me wrong, I love baseball. Everyone knows that. And all sports, but baseball is my other one. But boxing is one-on-one. Boxing, it's mental. Boxing takes a kid off the street, makes him into something. The personalities are involved with it, the competition. There's so much about it. It's just a great sport, and people don't understand that. They look at the controversy about the sport that's been going on for years. That's a part of it. But doesn't all sports have controversy? Doesn't it, Ray? No, the controversial part of it is something that turns people off. But if you're in the sport, you understand why there's controversy. You can never have a decision, which most people complain about, go three judges' ways that I call three blind mice. And mostly they are three blind mice, three judges. However, that's what makes the sport unique. If you don't knock the guy out, it's in the hands of three people at ringside that have to make the decision, and there you go.
Now, do you like broadcasting as opposed to writing? What's your love?
I like to broadcast because it's quicker and you can get your information out faster, and you're talking, I think, more to a broader span of the public. But then again, I love to write, and people don't read today as much as they did. That's the difference. So people don't have the attention span when they're reading. They browse. I'm an old newspaper man where when you read a newspaper, it was in front of you and you read word for word. And they would catch anything from a wrong word, wrong sentence, wrong comma. I was trained by the best. Bert, the great Bert Randolph Sugar. He was my mentor, one of them, the main one. And he always said, watch this, watch that. And, it's different. It's a different form. Reading, though, people just don't do today. It's sad. So now it's all broadcasting like we're doing here right now. And that gets out faster. And you have the ability to say what you want now with social media, doing internet shows like that I know. It's easier, and it's quicker, and you're freedom to say more than what you want, and you're not restricted.
Now, you're a Bronx boy. You lived in the tough streets of the Bronx. Is it true that you fought for a long time? You were a boxer?
No, I was. I had much of a career as a fighter. I tried it out. And the old joke with Rich Mancuso was I fought 4 amateur fights and got knocked out 4 times.
Is that what happened?
And I don't remember where I was, but it happened. But I did it. At least I did it.
Okay.
People say they could have been in the ring and did it. But then I was younger. Of course, I was trimmer, had more hair on my head, better looking. I tried it, and it was fun.
How was it work? You've worked with a lot of different editors, publishers, etc. Where does our boy Joe McDonald rate with some of the others that you had? And remember, you've been with the Daily News, you've been with everybody. Where does Joe McDonald rate with the others?
Honestly, and I'm not being partial to the guy because I work.
Say it like it is.
No, I tell you, Joe McDonald's a winner. What do you want me to say? He's a winner. New York Sports Day has gone from nothing to something. And it's because of him. I mean, we wouldn't be here tonight all together as a family, as a Sports Day family, if it wasn't for Joe.
Well, if it wasn't for his credit card.
Well, that too. Well, my credit card's up there as well. That doesn't matter. But the point is that we're in this new era. We're in a new era of media. And it's all websites, bloggers, and everything else, and hard to accept that it's come this way, but we have to. And the point is that New York Sports Day went from nothing to something.
Okay, now, how do we go to that next level, though? We have to get to that next level. How does Joe McDonald get us to that next level?
He's already there.
He's not there yet. How could you say he's there?
Ray, I'm telling you as a fight person, and I'm going to tell you again, all right?
Whoa!
I'm going to tell you loud and clear, all right?
Whoa!
With a left and a right, okay? we are going to be rivaling the Athletic in the next year. That's how.
Those are big words. Those are big words, America. You heard it right here.
That's how confident.
Okay. Ken Rosenthal and all those guys over there in MLB land, you heard it right here from Rich Mancuso.
We don't have Ken Rosenthal. We don't have all those guys. We don't need them.
Whoa.
You got a guy like me who's been in this business for almost 40 years. All right? Joe's been around a long time. We got Peter Schwartz on board right now.
Peter Schwartz.
All right? We got Scott Engel on board.
Scott Engel.
We got the great Lloyd Carroll on board.
Lloyd Carroll.
We don't. There's Andy Esposito.
Andy Esposito.
He knows baseball better than anyone else. We have you.
Okay.
Now, we also, let's see, who am I missing? I don't want to miss. Billy.
We got Billy Coppola.
And one guy who's not here tonight couldn't make it. A couple of them, including Howie Carpenter.
Howie Carpenter.
Right. And Howie's been in the game business as long as me and a lot of others, and an official scorer of Major League Baseball.
Hey, and when he feels like writing, when he feels like it, Aristokilaritis.
Yeah, but he needs a little help. That's another story. We'll have to work on him a little.
I think he's probably the best, pound for pound, number one. When he feels like doing it.
Yeah, he should be covering the rodeo. That's what he should do. Yeah. He should cover the rodeo. We need a rodeo writer too. I just came from Vegas where the rodeo was in town. Yeah. But let's talk boxing. That's why I came here. I want to know about boxing.
Well, listen, all I know is that I'm happy that you're here. You're terrific. You're exciting. You're controversial.
I like to do it.
Okay? And, you say it like you're like Howard Cosell. You say it like it is.
Right. Just remember NewYorkSportsDay.com. All right? And look at the Fantasy Sports Network for Wally Matthews and I. And Brian Adams, who's
the singer?
No, Brian is a former amateur pro fighter from New York.
I just wanted to make that clear.
No, he's not Frankie Valli either, so don't worry. I know that's your buddy, all right? Everyone's your buddy. Why? Why is everyone your buddy?
Because you're my buddy, and that's all that matters. Look at this handsome man. 2 years ago, he was on The Bachelor, and look at him today, ladies and gentlemen.
Because he's Mr. Bat Boy, New York Yankee, that's why.
Richie, thank you, brother. You're the best. You're the best. You're the best.
Do me a favor next time you want me on, forewarn me, okay? And the other thing is, be on time, all right? Don't stand me up for 3 hours because my drink is late.
Hopefully a tractor trailer won't turn over on us.
Well, that's a part of living in New York City. What can I tell you?
Rich Mancuso, the one and only.
The rodeo, huh?
What am I going to say?
Talk about the NYTV.
Hey, relax.
Ray, I got to shake off.
My brother. Here we are with Josh Quintana. Josh Quintana is a police officer in New York City, but he used to be an amateur fighter in New York. And tell us a little bit about yourself, brother.
Well, my name is Josh Quintana. I was born and raised in the Bronx. I started boxing maybe when I was like 13, 14 years old. Took it up for a sport. I did a couple amateur fights. Didn't want to go anywhere big with it, Wasn't something that I wanted to do. But it kept me out the streets, and I learned how to protect myself. And I love the sport. Keeps me in shape. I do it once in a while now. When that fighter instinct comes back, I'll step in the ring, spar with guys, and I've had a good experience through boxing. It's teach me a lot.
Now, you're NYPD. How is it from the standpoint of, is it something that you love?
Yes, the NYPD is something I always wanted to do as a child. I've always envisioned myself out there. It's not like what you see on the TV, but when I was young, that's what I thought it would be. But at the end of the day, I like what I do. I have a love for it. I love the people of New York. I know how to deal with people and it's just a passion. They say you got to do what you love, and that's one thing I love to do. I like being out there, getting the good guys, the bad guys, you name it. That's what I love to do.
So it's not like Starsky and Hutch and shows like that on TV?
No, it's really not. It's more calm. You have your stuff here and there, but it's nothing crazy like Law and Order, all these crazy shows. But it's, you know, it's somewhere there. You have your moments. Yeah, you do.
Now, are you married?
No, I'm not married. I'm not legally married.
Okay, so, but your partner, that's something that every time you put on that uniform and you're out in the streets, I'm sure that they get a little bit nervous here and there.
Yes, I do have a 2-year-old daughter, and I have my fiance, and they do get nervous. My parents too. They never wanted me to do this job, but at the end, we all adults and we make our own decisions. And yeah, they do get nervous. They pray for me every day that I go out there and wear that badge, and they pray that I get home safe.
And where are you stationed?
Right now, I'm stationed at Throsneck. It's called PSA 8. I serve the people in housing developments, which is known as the projects. It can be very tough dealing with those people, but growing up in the Bronx and kind of being in that environment, I already know what it brings. So that's why I feel like I make a good asset to work with those people, and it's been good so far for the 4 years I have.
Being that you work in the projects area, etc., you have to deal with a lot of young people. Do you use your influence to try to help them, steer them in the right direction?
Yes, I do. I try to deal with. I actually deal with a lot of young people. Many of them are not in the right paths, but I always try to speak to them and tell them that although they're in the wrong path, it's never too late to change. It's never too late, no matter what. We all do stupid mistakes when we're young, but what matters is how you get up from the mistake.
If you have a Christmas message to send to the people of New York, what would it be?
Christmas message. Just want to tell everybody happy holidays. Stay safe. For all the senior citizens out there, be careful with all the scams that are going on. People getting robbed. Be careful out there and just have a wonderful Christmas.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Yes.
Harris is in the house.
How are you?
Okay, here we are with the boy wonder, Aris Sakellarides. Aris,
Yes.
what's happening, brother?
I'm good. I'm good. Talk to me.
So listen, I mean, number one, you write when you feel like writing. When you don't feel like writing, you don't write. But yet Joe McDonald always posts your stuff. He puts your stuff out there. It's usually one of the top 5 stories that are written that day. I mean, why do you have to be such a controversial type of writer?
You know, when I got feces on my mind, I could use that word, right? I write it. And Joe, for him not editing it, I thank him. You know, I just did a recent article on Willie Randolph, and when Willie calls me the next morning thanking me, priceless, man, priceless.
Well, hey, Joe McDonald, come on over here a second. Okay, so we're gonna keep this a little controversial, okay? And so I'd rather bring Joe in here and grab that chair, okay? I mean, Joe, he wrote a story. I got a call from Willie Randolph the other day about a story that Aris wrote, of which he called general managers in baseball geeks. Why would you let that go over?
Well, it was his opinion. He's my columnist. That's his opinion. That's called an opinion column.
Now, I received another phone call about a story that Aris wrote, of which he was talking about analytics, and he said analytics. I mean, yet you let that go through also?
Yeah, why not? Sure.
Okay. I don't know what else to say. I mean, Aris, why was it, or why is it that you continue to try to beat up on GMs and, you know, high-ranking baseball officials? Why?
Oh, no. I'm not beating up on anybody. This is called freedom of speech. what most of these writers that get paid for these publications don't know anything about. I mean, I watch them ask these questions that are gutless, man. It's like they're scared they might lose their press